The hair would stretch and brush the faces of sleeping girls, lingering and searching. No one woke except Chinyere. Ijama is a newly registered student at St. Mary's College. Very beautiful. Her hair was the kind you only see in magazines and expensive billboards in town. Long, black, flowing down her neck like a river of silk. The girls adored it. They begged to braid it, to brush it, to run their hands through it. Some envied her, others praised her, but none could ignore her. Ijoma was untouchable. Her smile made enemies soften. Her grace silenced bullies. Even the teachers who prided themselves on discipline found their voices softer when she walked into the class. Ijoma was the angel of the hostel, and so they thought. Life in St. Mary's College was hard. Anyone who had ever lived in a boarding house knew how harsh it could be. Fights over buckets, quarrels about food, the endless teasing, girls could be cruel. But not to Ijoma. She lived in Yellow House, one of the senior dormitories. Every single evening after prep, girls would gather around her bed. They would laugh, touch her hair, and beg her for the secret. Ijoma would only smile, combing her hair with the strange ivory comb she never let anyone else touch. Tell us your secrets now, begged Chinyere, her closest friend. Please, just small. It's just the hair, nothing special, Ijoma replied. But of course it was special. Her hair never tangled. It grew faster than anyone else's, thicker every week. Some girls whispered that she must have rich parents, sending her products from abroad. Others whispered about charms. And then there were the odd things. One evening, the hostel mirror cracked the very moment she walked past it. A genius swore she saw Ijoma's reflection, still standing in the mirror even after she had left. And sometimes, when she brushed her hair, the strands seemed to ripple faintly, like they were alive. The girls dismissed it as imagination. After all, how could someone so angelic be dangerous? But Chinyere noticed more. Ijoma never ate dining hall food. She would sit, smile, and push the rice around her plate, but never swallow. She never queued for snacks, never begged Gary, never chewed granuts in class, yet she never looked weak. And at night, sometimes, when the dorm was silent, Chinyere swore she heard soft humming from Ijoma's bed, a strange tone in a language she didn't understand. But the truth revealed itself on a rainy night. The rain hammered the roof. The generator had gone off, plunging the hostel into darkness. Chinyere, who was restless, got up to fetch water from the corridor drum. She tiptoed back carefully in order not to wake the house mistress, her bucket swinging by her side, and then she froze. Ijoma was sitting upright on her bed, still, too still. Her hair long spilled over her shoulder like a curtain. Her hands were raised to her neck. Chinyere's eyes widened in horror. With a soft crack, Ijoma's head came off. She lifted it gently in her hands, her lips whispering words, her hair slithering as though it longed to escape. Slowly, her head rose into the air, leaving her body sitting stiff and lifeless like a discarded doll. Chinyere's bucket slipped and clattered to the floor. The floating head turned sharply, eyes glowing faintly, and then, in a whisper too chilling to belong to the living, it said, Chinyere. Chinyere screamed, but her throat was locked. Her legs moved before her brain. She ran, her heart thundering, until she collapsed in the bathroom, gasping, shivering. When dawn broke, Ijoma was back to normal, her body intact, her hair perfect, her smile soft. Are you okay? She asked Chinyere kindly. You look pale. Chinyere couldn't tell if she had a nightmare or a warning. From that night, Chinyere never knew peace. She watched Ijoma every evening. She stared at the way her hair caught the light, the way her eyes sometimes glowed faintly. She tried to tell others, but each time they laughed at her. You've been reading too many ghost stories. How is it possible for somebody to remove her head? They dismissed it and told Chinyere to stop lying. Only Chinyere knew the truth, and every night it grew worse. Sometimes she would pretend to sleep, only to peep and see Jama's body sitting swiftly on the bed while her head floated across the dome. The hair would stretch and brush the faces of sleeping girls, lingering and searching. No one woke except Chinyere. She would lie stiff, tears slipping down her face, praying that dawn would come quickly. One evening, unable to hold it in any longer, Chinyere confronted her. Chinyere asked Ijoma why her head was like that and who she was. For the first time, Ijoma's smile faded. Do you really want to know? She whispered. Chinyere nodded, trembling. That night, Ijoma sat beside her, brushing her hair slowly. My mother was not like yours. She was not human. She lived in the forest, half human, half something else. She gave me this hair as a gift, a crown to mark me as hers. But every gift has a price. Her voice dropped. I must feed it. I must let it breathe. That is why I leave my body. That is why I cannot eat your food. My beauty is not mine. It is the hunger of what I am. Her eyes met Chinyere's, and now you know. It was during exams, everyone was stressed, restless, buried in books. That night, Chinyere prayed harder than ever. But at midnight, the humming began again. She opened her eyes. Ijoma's head was floating above her bed, her hair writing like snakes. This time it was different. The strands stretched across the room, touching every girl in the dorm. One girl whispered in her sleep, another one twitched, but none woke. Chinyere's eyes widened as she realized the hair was feeding on the girls and draining them. The girls' faces were pale, their breathing slowed. No, Chinyere whispered. Stop! She screamed. This time everyone woke. The dorm erupted in chaos as girls screamed and pointed at the impossible sight. Ijoma's head floating, her body sitting lifeless on the bed, her hair alive and writhing in hunger. Some ran to the door, pounding and crying. Others hid under their covers. The air was thick with terror, and then just as suddenly, everything went black. The hostel knew no peace that night. Morning came. The hostel mistress found a dorm full of trembling girls, some too weak to stand, some sobbing uncontrollably. But Ijoma's bed was empty. No body, no head, only strands of black hair scattered across the sheets like shed skin. Chinyere never spoke of it again, but sometimes when she walked past the hostel mirror, she swore she saw a reflection behind her. Long black hair, swaying softly, brushing against her shoulder. And deep down, she knew that not every beauty is a blessing. Some are curses that feed, and Ijoma's beauty was never human. If you attended a school with a dormitory, what are the strangest stories you heard about dormitories? Let me know in the comments. And if you ever enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more African stories like this. Thanks for watching.